Hello, everyone, and welcome back to mksenglish.com's Business Podcast, a place where you sharpen your professional English and learn how to work confidently with people around the world. Today's episode is all about business etiquette in different countries. A crucial topic for anyone who works in global teams or communicates with international clients. Even if your English is excellent, cultural differences can cause misunderstandings, right? So, in this episode, we'll explore key behaviors, common expectations, and also real examples to help you avoid awkward situations and make great impressions. Let's get started. Why does business etiquette matter? Well, in international businesses, etiquette isn't just about being polite. It's about showing respect, building trust, and avoiding cultural mistakes that could damage professional relationships. When you adapt your communication style to fit local expectations, people feel more comfortable with you. And as you know, comfort builds trust, which leads to better negotiations, smoother teamwork, and also stronger business partnerships. So let's begin with the United States. So they have three major key characteristics. The first is direct communication. Americans prefer straightforward messages. Being too indirect can seem unclear or even suspicious. Number two, quick small talk. A short, friendly chat is normal, but business usually starts quickly. And number three, you've heard this before, time is money. Punctuality is expected, and meetings tend to move fast. So here's a tip. Keep your emails short, clear, and with a clear action point. For example, please confirm by Friday. Okay, let's talk about Japan. I've lived here most of my life, and I can tell you Japan has a very different approach. I'll give you three characteristics. Number one, let's talk about formality and respect. Titles, roles, and hierarchy matter. As we know, we should avoid using first names unless we had already been invited. Number two, indirect communication. Japanese professionals often avoid saying no, and to be honest, this kills me. Instead, they soften their message, like, まあ、それはちょっと。ちょっと what? Okay, sorry. Anyway, number three, business cards are important. And this really threw me off when I started working in Japan. When we exchange business cards in Japan, we exchange them with both hands and we take a moment to look at the card briefly before putting it away. If you're not Japanese and you're listening to this, let me give you a quick tip. Silence in meetings is normal. Don't rush to fill the gap. Give people space to think, okay? Next, let's talk about Germany. Germany is another interesting case. I'll give you three more characteristics. Efficiency and precision. Meetings are well structured and follow a clear agenda. Number two, be direct but not emotional. German communication is honest and straightforward, but rarely dramatic. And lastly, strong focus on preparation. Being unprepared can be seen as disrespectful. And here's a German tip. If you say you will deliver something by Wednesday, make sure it's ready by Wednesday, not Thursday. Okay, Brazil. Three characteristics: warm and personal interactions. Building relationships is essential before discussing business. Flexible approach to time. Meetings may start later or last longer than planned. And also, make sure of expressive communication. Now, if you know me, you know that I do this a lot. People like me, although I'm not Brazilian, use gestures, facial expressions, and emotion when speaking. I talk with my hands a lot. So here's a Brazilian tip. So don't jump straight into serious business. Start with friendly communication. It really does matter. The Middle East, includes many countries, but there are some general patterns. And let me give you 3 characteristics for the Middle East. Number 1, hospitality is essential. Meetings often include tea or coffee, and refusing them can be considered rude. Number 2, relationship first mindset. Trust must be built before negotiations begin. And lastly, flexible schedules. Time can be more fluid in Western countries. Be patient. Discussions may take longer, but the relationship you build is definitely worth the time. Now, there are common mistakes in every country we need to avoid. And here are some mistakes that often happen in international business. Number 1, assuming that your style is the global standard. And it's not. Always observe and adapt. Number 2, using humor too quickly. Jokes don't always translate well across cultures. Number 3, ignoring hierarchy. In many countries, addressing the wrong person first can cause problems. And number 4, using too much directness. What feels clear to you may seem rude to someone else. Thanks for listening, and here's a final takeaway, okay? To succeed in global business environments, learn the basics of your partner's cultural expectations. Pay attention to communication styles, direct or indirect. Be prepared, polite, and adaptable. Also, when in doubt, observe before acting. Very important. Being culturally aware isn't just soft skill. It is a competitive advantage. Well, that's it for today's episode of mksenglish.com's business podcast. If you enjoyed this topic, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. And check out our other lessons. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.